Early morning in a small Japanese apartment. The sun hasn't fully risen yet. There's no alarm blaring, no notifications buzzing, just the soft sound of a kettle beginning to whistle somewhere in the kitchen. A woman opens the window, slowly, like she has all the time in the world. Cool air drifts in. She just stands there, eyes slightly closed, listening to birds, feeling the breeze. You're not planning the day, you're not replaying yesterday. You're just standing there, breathing. For one quiet minute, nothing needs to happen. And that's where the story begins. I keep thinking about that image. The funny thing is, she's not doing anything most people would call a wellness habit. No meditation, no yoga, no morning challenge. She's just standing at an open window, giving herself a quiet moment before stepping into the day. And yet, there was something in that moment that most of us haven't felt in a very long time. So what did she understand that we've somehow forgotten? Think about your own morning for a second. Most of us wake up, and within 60 seconds, the phone is already in our hands. Notifications, emails, news, someone's opinion about something, a reminder about something else. And suddenly, the day is already loud before it even begins. Maybe you've noticed this too, that feeling of being tired before you've actually done anything, that low-level hum of stress that's just always there. Like background noise you stopped hearing, but your body never stopped feeling. We call it busy, we call it productive, we call it modern life. But honestly, something feels off, and I don't think the problem is what most people assume it is. Here's what's interesting. Most people think mental exhaustion comes from doing too much, so they try to fix it by doing less. Taking a vacation, sleeping more, disconnecting on weekends. But then Monday comes and nothing has actually changed. What if the real problem isn't the amount you're doing? What if it's the absence of small, quiet moments woven throughout ordinary days? The kind of moments that let your mind actually breathe. Because your brain doesn't need only sleep. It needs pauses, small gaps, brief silences between things. And for most of us, those gaps have completely disappeared. That's what Japanese daily life quietly understands. And it's not about doing less. It's about doing things differently. So in this video, we're going to walk through 8 surprisingly simple habits from Japanese everyday life that help reduce mental clutter, emotional noise, and that constant feeling of overwhelm. It doesn't happen because you completely change your life. And it doesn't come from expensive wellness routines either. It comes from small, everyday moments that slowly change the way you experience your day. One of these habits takes 60 seconds. One completely changed how I think about cleaning. And honestly, the last one is the hardest to accept, but probably the most freeing. Let's start at the very beginning, with something most of us never even think about. Habit 1. Here's something that quietly changes everything once you really sit with it. Ichigo Ichie. This idea has its roots in Japanese tea culture. It reminds us that every conversation, every shared cup of tea, and even this very moment is unique. Something that will never exist in the same way again. The idea is that this exact moment, this specific conversation, this particular morning, this precise cup of tea, will never exist again. Most of us move through ordinary moments already thinking about the next one. Eating while planning, listening while composing a reply, present in body, somewhere else entirely in mind. And what gets lost is the moment itself. The practice here is tiny. Choose one completely ordinary moment today. Maybe a meal, maybe a walk to your car, maybe washing your hands, and experience it without going anywhere else mentally. Just be exactly where you are. Ordinary moments don't become memories because they were extraordinary. They become memories because someone was fully there. Habit 2. Now this one surprised me. In Japan, cleaning isn't treated as a chore you do when things get bad enough. It's treated as daily maintenance, like brushing your teeth. Even school children in Japan spend time each day cleaning their own classrooms as a responsibility. Here's why that matters. Something interesting that happens with visual clutter. Even when you're not consciously looking at it, your brain is quietly registering everything unfinished, misplaced, or out of order around you. It's a constant, invisible drain. Order doesn't just look better, it actually frees up mental space you didn't know was being used. Imagine ending your day this way. Instead of scrolling through your phone, spend 5 quiet minutes putting one room back in order. Slowly fold the blanket, straighten the table, put away a few things. It may seem like a small act, but sometimes a calmer space is exactly what helps create a calmer mind. You're not just tidying a room, you're giving your mind permission to stop holding everything together. Habit 3. Now think about the last time you did just one thing. Not one thing while also listening to something. Not one thing while also checking something. Just one thing, completely. Traditional Japanese tea ceremonies have this principle at their core. Every movement is intentional. Pouring tea isn't just pouring tea, it's the entire focus of that moment. Nothing competes with it. And here's what's quietly fascinating. Every time you switch between tasks, your brain pays a small tax. A little attention was lost here, a little focus burned there. Do that dozens of times a day, and by evening your mind feels depleted. Even if nothing you did was particularly hard. The practice is simple. Once a day, drink your tea or coffee without a screen. Just that. Notice the warmth, notice the taste. Let it be the only thing happening for 5 minutes. Attention, it turns out, is one of the most generous things you can give yourself. But here's where things get a little deeper. Because the next 2 habits aren't really about what you do, they're about how you relate to things you can't control. Habit 4. Imagine your plans fall apart. Rain cancels the outdoor event. The train is delayed. Something you prepared carefully goes wrong anyway. Most of us know that tight, frustrated feeling that follows. The resistance, the replaying, the wishing things were different from what they are. Shikata ganai is a Japanese phrase that loosely means it cannot be helped. And while it would be too simple to just call it acceptance, there's something quietly powerful in that orientation. Here's what's interesting about resistance. It doesn't change what happened. It only extends how long it affects you. And the energy spent fighting something unchangeable is energy that could go toward what actually comes next. The question worth asking is simple. What part of this is actually within my control right now? Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It creates the space to move forward. Habit 5. There's a concept in Japanese culture called ma. It roughly translates to gap or pause, but that doesn't really capture it. Think about it this way. In music, the silence between notes is what gives each note meaning. Without the pause, it's just noise. Japanese architecture works the same way. Gardens, art, even conversation. Space isn't emptiness. Space is what allows everything else to breathe. And here's what's interesting. Your brain works the same way. When there's no pause between inputs, your mind never fully processes what just happened before the next thing arrives. And over time, that accumulation creates this heavy, foggy feeling that we just accept as normal. The habit is simple. Before you open your phone each morning, pause for 1 minute. Just 1 minute. No agenda, no plan. Just allow your mind to wake up before the world rushes in. Peace isn't about adding more. It's about leaving enough room. Habit 6. This one has actual science behind it, and it still feels almost too simple. Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing, emerged in Japan during the 1980s as a genuine public health practice. Not hiking, not exercise, just walking slowly through trees, listening, noticing, being among nature without any goal. And what researchers found was quietly remarkable. Time spent in natural environments is associated with measurably reduced stress, lower blood pressure, and something particularly interesting, reduced activity in the part of the brain linked to repetitive negative thinking. That mental loop of worry that just won't stop? Nature seems to gently interrupt it. The practice doesn't require a forest. A local park works, a quiet street with trees. The key is no headphones, no destination. Just slow movement and open attention. Nature doesn't demand anything from you. That's exactly why it helps. Habit 7. There's a Japanese art form called kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold. The crack isn't hidden, it's highlighted. Because the break is part of the story. Wabi-Sabi is the broader philosophy beneath that. Finding beauty in what is imperfect, incomplete, and impermanent. An old wooden table, a weathered garden stone, a slightly uneven bowl perfect. And honestly, when you start seeing it, you realize how much energy most of us spend fighting the natural imperfection of things. Of our homes, our work, ourselves. Perfectionism isn't high standards. It's often just delayed satisfaction. The feeling that things will be okay once everything is finally right. But that moment rarely comes. Today, try leaving one harmless imperfection exactly as it is. And just notice what happens when you stop trying to fix it. Peace doesn't grow where everything is perfect. It grows where perfection is no longer required. Habit 8. And this is the one that quietly ties everything together. Kaizen means continuous improvement through very small steps. Originally applied to manufacturing, the underlying idea resonates much more personally. You don't need a dramatic transformation. You need a slightly better Tuesday than Monday. Fold the blanket when you get up, put the book back, close the drawer properly, drink water before coffee, pause before the phone. These feel almost embarrassingly small, but here's what's interesting. Small habits don't just produce small results. They gradually reshape the person doing them. Because what you practice daily, you slowly become. Here's the thing I keep coming back to. None of these habits requires a different life. A quieter city, a calmer job, more time. They only require a slightly different relationship with the life you already have. That woman standing at the open window wasn't peaceful because her morning was perfect. She was peaceful because she had learned to leave space inside it. The world is still loud, the emails are still waiting, the notifications are still there. What changes is the space between each moment. Tomorrow morning, try just one thing. Open a window, stand there for 60 seconds, say nothing, notice everything. That's it. That's where it starts. Which one of these 8 habits felt most true to something you already sense but haven't had words for? I'd genuinely love to know. Drop it in the comments below. And if this felt like a conversation worth continuing, there's a lot more quiet wisdom worth exploring. Subscribing means you won't miss what comes next.